Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm going for the Coolio hair this morning. I hope you guys are impressed. Slept in my brain. Yikes. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned into book club last night. I loved it. It was our last one. Whoa, getting a little frisky here. All right. It's just weird that I've gotten up and down, up and down. My voice. Oh, there he is. I was worried about you. Hi, sweet potato. Oh, he's a good boy. Okay, well, I was worried about him. Typically when I get up, he gets up, so I don't really love, you start to worry about them. He's older, Anyway, I loved book club. Everybody was great last night. I was definitely buzzed, so thank you for playing. And again, if you have not gotten a copy of The Southern Education of a Jersey Girl, please do. Like I'm telling you, you really will love the book. If you like Coffee Talk, or if you like Jersey Belle, or if you don't know who I am, but you think some of the things I say are funny, I think you will love this book. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, so I don't typically get to speak to 16-year-olds that often because the Coffee Talk audience is older, right? Typically, I think our average is like 25 to 54. I know there's younger and older, but average. And, my friends are in their late 30s, early 40s. So I don't spend that much time with 16-year-olds. And I struggle a little bit with giving other people's teenagers too much advice because I'm a mom and you don't want somebody else giving your kid too much advice. But I was walking the dog last night after book club, and there were a bunch of 16-year-olds out of one of my neighbor's house. And I think they were 16. They were in high school. Anyway, one of them was crying. I've seen this before in my neighborhood a couple of times. And I typically don't say too much, but they know that I'm the Jersey Belle, so they'll always say hello, and they love Ace. Anyway, I said, "Baby, why are you crying?" And she told me that her boyfriend broke up with her because he doesn't want to cheat on her. He's, a senior and he wants to do other things and he's going to college next year and blah, blah, blah. And I said to her, okay, so what are you really upset about? How long have you been dating him? And she said, like 3 months on and off. I said, 3 months on and off? Tell me about that. So she explained that, they got together and at first it was hot and heavy and exciting. And then, hold on. Whoa. Okay. And then, he started like, I'm not sure that this is what I want. I play sports. I don't know that I have time for a girlfriend. So they would break up and 3 days later he would call her and they would get back together and blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, wow, they really don't stop. They don't really ever stop that nonsense, do they? So I thought, you know what? How would I feel if this was my daughter? If this was Olivia and somebody walked up with the tools to say something that could ease the pain in her heart? So I said to her, I'm going to give you an analogy and I want you to think about it, okay? And she said, okay. I said, let's say we have a cut on our hand and I give you a Band-Aid and you open the fresh Band-Aid and you stick it on your hand and it's stuck, right? It's a great Band-Aid right here. I said, you'd feel pretty good about that Band-Aid, wouldn't you? You would trust the Band-Aid. It's like Band-Aids stick. It's what they do, right? So she said, yeah. I said, well, then let's say 2 days later, you think the cut is healed. So you take the Band-Aid off. But you realize it's not really healed all the way and you don't have any other Band-Aids. So you stick the same Band-Aid back on. Push it on real good. It'll probably stick again, right? She said, yeah. I said, okay, so it'll probably stick for a while. But let's say 2 days later, you think the cut's healed. So I tell you to take the Band-Aid off again. And you look and the cut looks better, but it's not 100%. So you stick the same Band-Aid on now a third time. How's the Band-Aid going to stick? She said, probably not that well. I said, probably not. It'll probably stick, but one part will keep lifting up and you'll have to keep pushing it on all day, right? She said, yeah. And I said, it'll probably start to annoy you. It won't feel as good. The Band-Aid won't really be doing its job for you anymore. The Band-Aid will start to become a hindrance and a nuisance to you, more so than the cut. She said, yeah. I said, now, if you do that 3 or 4 more times, what eventually happens to the Band-Aid? I said, if I told you that you had to walk around holding the Band-Aid with your hand, your other hand, all day to keep it on, would you do it? She said, no. I said, so why would you carry an entire relationship by yourself? This boy has had you take the Band-Aid on and off your hand so many times, it doesn't stick anymore, baby. And now he's asking you to throw the Band-Aid in the garbage, but you would rather hold the Band-Aid on your hand all day? Just walking around holding the Band-Aid. And she was like, no. I said, so let's think about that. And she was like, I don't want to hold the Band-Aid. I'm like, no, I don't think you do. And her friends were like, yeah, you shouldn't hold the Band-Aid. You're way better than that. And I thought, you guys are so cute. I can't even stand it. But they got it. And she got it. And I said to her, listen, it will hurt. Mostly because you feel rejected. Not because you love him. Not because he's Prince Charming. But because your ego, part of your ego, feels rejected. Totally normal, by the way. Totally normal. She said, well, what can I do? Because I feel like gross. I feel bad. Like I can't get him out of my mind. I feel consumed by it. I said, you can acknowledge that exactly how you feel is part of the process. Just like when you meet someone and the relationship kicks off and it's hot and heavy and awesome and you feel like you are on some sort of high, that is part of the process. Now you're crashing. It's like a sugar high, right? When you first start dating somebody, it's like you've eaten 40 pounds of rock candy. When they pull away from you, when the relationship is ending, you're crashing. It's part of the process. She was like, so I just have to feel this way. I said, yes. You have to feel this way, but you need tools to cope with it. That is where I failed as a teenager. I did not have any tools and nobody to talk to. I said, get it. I said, make it fun with your girlfriends. Give yourself something to look forward to. Get a journal, a notebook. Buy a 99-cent notebook at CVS. I don't care what you do. Write down how you're feeling. Pass it to this friend. Let her read it and write something back to you. Then let her pass it to this girl and let her read it and write something back to you. And then give it back to you. And then you read what they wrote and then you write them back and keep it going to keep your mind occupied because he will call you back. He's going to want you to take this Band-Aid on and off the rest of the year because this is what boys do. They don't mean it. It's just part of high school. You have to decide when you are tired of holding the Band-Aid. She was like, I don't want to hold the Band-Aid anymore. I said, no, because the beauty of it is that someone will come along with a brand new Band-Aid that will stick itself. And I'm not saying it won't be perfect. And I'm not saying you won't have to take that Band-Aid off a couple of times. But I'm saying a new Band-Aid will come along. And she was like, I want a new Band-Aid. I'm like, yes. So you have to give yourself time to go through it. Like, don't be afraid of the process. We are so afraid of anything that causes us discomfort. We try to run from the discomfort. Girl, go through it. Crying is like, I said, it's good for your skin. Keeps you young. She was like, well, then I must look really young. And I'm thinking, yeah, you look 13. So don't worry. But man, I wish I had someone like me when I was 16 because I was a train wreck. Well, today is Vegas o'clock, baby. I have a work call at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to walk the dog, get the kids ready for school, get on this call, and get ready to go to Vegas. And I'm so excited. I love you guys so much today. Have a great day.